Right folks, let's have a sit down. These are oil paints and I got them for my birthday ages ago, and I've used them once and that was a long time ago, and I'm really nervous about using them today in this video. Welcome back people, this is Dow Creates. My name is Joshua Dow and I'm an artist, and here we have selected all the stuff we need for oil painting. I will snap my finger and you will see what it looks like when we actually get into it. Right, so I think we have assembled everything that we need. That looks good to me. Good to go. Right, so we've got everything set up, the canvas here, reference there, palette, colors. I just want to kind of capture that. I'm really kind of nervous about this because, like I said, oil painting isn't something I'm familiar with at all. I don't know how this is going to go at all, and I'm worrying about it. I'm kind of procrastinating, not wanting to put the first color into the palette, even just mixing it. I don't know how it's going to react on that. And I realize that it's just a process of getting to know it, but what if I only get to know it through this project and not actually do it well in this project because I'm just like getting used to it and that. So these are just worries that are flying around in my head, and I'm sure you know the feeling if you're an artist, if you do this thing called art occasionally. But yeah, that's just human. I just wanted to capture it, not only to be able to contrast it later against how I feel about the painting and about oil paints afterwards, but also kind of to make this feel more genuine rather than just saying in the voiceover that I was really nervous starting out, and because I just want to show you that in this very moment I am nervous. I think the best way to go about this now is just to, I'm going to put on some good music, some chill music, and just get into it. I'm not going to worry about the filmmaking side of this YouTube video as much. I'm just going to put up the camera and get into the actual painting of it.
You overdid it, Holmes. You're
No faking the man to deceive. No cyber, no messing your mind. No faking the man to deceive. No cyber, no messing your mind. No faking the man to deceive. No cyber, no messing your mind. No faking the man to deceive. No cyber, no messing your mind.
Yo, it's been a long time coming, but the blood doesn't flow with the weight. As we dead on the damn debate, anticipate this change gonna come. You damn straight, non-stop till my name preceded by the great. I get around like digital pop and been around like the ice cream. Chuck on your block and hold it down with the squirt gun. Deep in your sink, spitting around tight wisdom, making you think. If you around like sweetheart, you can reflect. Don't put it down cause you need art. You can respect. I know it sound not quite like what you expect. Type underground meaning not just after the check. If you predict this, miss, you can hardly detect. Control you up +6, then you stand correct. Lost and found, no joke. If you sleep in neglect and suck a dick till it's poking out the back of your neck. Now bring it in.
I think we can say it's going well so far, and voice over me thinks that you have something in your teeth and also that you were doing a shit job of explaining what you're trying to say, so I'm just going to take over from now. So essentially at this point in the painting where I was at was that I was kind of enjoying seeing the fun part of oil painting and seeing the potential of mixing in the colors, like mixing the colors together on the canvas. But as I hadn't mastered it yet at that point, it kind of stood in my way a little bit. Like for example, I couldn't hold on to highlights, and what I mean by that is that essentially if you put light oil colors onto the canvas, it immediately mixes together, and it's really hard to hold on to whites or other light colors as it just mixes in and becomes a lot darker. Also, what I was thinking at this point was that I was more and more losing the likeness of the person that I was painting because I was getting too much contrast in. As you can see here, the reference I was working with, for example, the chic is just basically slight variations in gray tones, but it's pretty much the same tone almost everywhere, and I was having too much
too much contrast in there, too much accentuation of the cheek, of the nose, and stuff like that. So I wanted to work on that, try to smooth it out a little bit more, and yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. It's been a long time going, but you still got a bounce in your neck. Till your problems feel neglect. It's incorrect if you still detect all of the stress from the folks that expect to divide your check. See, that's the shit that be making you think. Soon as your ship comes in, you'll be ready to sink. The mind state got some scared of leaving they block. Phobiatic, they'll be going out like Biggie and Pop. Now meanwhile, some will swing it and then come out great. Find a sure to get your rock till you can't see straight. Tell her bounce in the morning, she won't even debate. Pull her back, next bank, and she just can't wait. Beat the former home alone, now we feel irate. Tryna front up on a style that the live create. Yeah, hear the same word twice and wanna file a complaint. We'll check the order of the line, that'll set things straight. Now bring it in.
Okay, so an update, and I am surprisingly quite happy with how it's looking. I think the main painting is essentially done. I don't think I'll get any better than this. The reason why I'm so surprised is not only because that's my first time really oil painting and that, but also because there was a point, I actually didn't record it, but there was a point in the painting where I literally like just smudged everything. I was like, oh fuck, I took this too far. But somehow, don't ask me how, but we arrived at something that I'm quite happy with. The details are definitely not as detailed as I was not hoping for, but wanted to check if I could do something like that, but I don't think I can at this point. But I think other than that, I captured her likeness quite well, and I think for going off a black and white picture and adding the color in myself, can't pretend like I'm not quite happy with how it turned out in the end. However, it is not the end, because now that I'm really happy with this painting, I am going to destroy it. And that's part of art, I guess. I can't do it. Fuck's sake. Right, so maybe at this point I should explain why I'm destroying this painting. No, it was not a spontaneous decision because I didn't like the way the face was looking or anything like that. But it was because of the nature of the project, because I was doing this for a university project on different authors, female Scottish authors, and this person that I'm painting here, Muriel Spark, was one of them. And the idea behind this painting, behind smudging it, was that essentially in her stories she usually focused on ordinary life, ordinary things, but had like an unnatural, uncanny, supernatural twist to them. And I decided a good way to show that, like metaphorically, was to paint her normally and then have through that smudge unnatural twist to it. Alright, there you have it. I'm so happy with how that turned out. I don't know, despite all the back and forth and the mess I've made and the frustration in between and the nervousness of both starting basically working with a new medium and also of destroying that painting that you made with that new medium, and despite all of that, I've come to a result that I really like. Obviously it's not the most perfect in that, but the look of the oil paints, of the textures and that, even though it might not be my most favorite medium to work with, like it's not as much fun as with other mediums because it's just frustrating for me, at least as a beginner. But I don't know, just the look at the result is just so painterly, so nice. The texture is so nice. There's like no other medium that can do that. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. Finished my project before the deadline tomorrow, so that's ideal. Before I show you the final result, please do consider subscribing to my channel, leaving a like here, and all that good stuff, leaving a comment down below whether you prefer me painting stuff in real life or doing digital art, which I usually do on this channel. Right, with that, here's the final result. again, thank you so much for watching and coming with me on this journey of exploring oil paints. Honestly, I was already at the point where I was like, okay, I'm not going to make this video about oil paints. I'm going to make it oil paints versus acrylic paints, because I'm going to have to redo this in acrylic anyway because I fucked it up in that. But that didn't stay that way, and we're happy now, so ideal. Anyway, click here to subscribe to my channel. Here, find a video you might like right here, and a playlist you might like right there. And then with that, I'll see you in the next video, hopefully. Bye bye, have a nice day.